2023 is here, it is among us, and I want to make sure that you are saving as much money as possible. Stop buying different scanners and make sure you guys check out Finviz. That is such a popular question I get. One of the most popular questions I'm asked is, how can I find stocks? Have you ever asked yourself that question? How can I find the best place? There's so many different options. How can I find stocks that are going to go on big rips, stocks that are going to go on big dumps? How do I know which stocks to actually trade? And if you're on a budget, how can I do that? So instead of buying these very expensive scanners, you can go over to finviz.com and be able to use these free screeners. Screeners and scanners are two different things. And let's just clarify that real quick. What is a screener? A screener would be on Finviz, where it gives me a list of stocks on what I have filtered out. A scanner is going to be more in real time, show me what is currently moving and bringing me data on what I have filtered out in real time. Screeners are going to be a little bit slower and a little bit different, but the good news is they're free and they can give you a lot of great valuable information. So let's look at this, team. If I head on over to Finviz and I click the screener button right here, I'm going to get a list of all this different data. Let's go over some ways on how you can find stocks and how you can be a profitable trader. First thing that we're going to do, team, is let's go through this list together and look at stocks that could be coming with some upcoming breakouts. I want to explain each one of the columns that I select to make sure that you understand why I selected it. And then, of course, it'll give you more confidence going into your trade. When we break this down, we got exchange, market cap, PB, EPS growth, dividend, quick ratio, net profit. A lot of these we are not going to use, but some of them we are going to use, such as performance. If I want a stock that's going to break out or turn into a very big spike, I want it going up. So today we want it going on up. Now, what else do we want? We may want something that's inside of our price range. So depending on how much money you have in your account, you might say to yourself, all right, I want to play a stock that's only under $2 or $5 or $10. Let's just do under $20. So the coolest thing that you may have noticed already, and I'm just going to start fresh here, is there are 8,365 stocks in the stock market. That's a lot to choose from. To be able to say what's going to be the best stock today and have to choose out of 8,000 options, that's pretty difficult. So when we say, okay, I want stocks that are just moving on up today, it's going to give me 3,940 options. Just like that, boom. We know half of the stocks aren't moving up today. Other half again is moving on down. Now again, we could say out of these 3,940 options, I only want to play ones that are underneath again 20 bucks. Basically, boom, cut them out right there. So if I had, let's say, a chance of winning a lottery and I put a ball in this very big basket of balls where they all come on out, do I have a better chance of hitting that big time winner if there were 8,000 other balls in there? Or would I have a better chance of winning if there is, let's say, 2,000 balls in there? I have a better chance of winning 2,000. Still not great odds, but it's better than having 8,000. So let's keep on going here because I want to have stocks that are moving up and stocks that are inside my price range. Now, as we keep on going here, we also want to look at this button right here, float short. Now, what's float short? This is showing us how many people are currently shorting this play out of the float. The float is the shares that are offered to the public. The more people that are shorting a stock, the better chance it has of going on a breakout. Now you might say, can you help me understand this a little bit better? And no problem whatsoever. So the easiest way to think about this is when people are again shorting the shares available, AKA the float, when they're shorting, they're betting that the stock is going to fall on down. Now, just to take this back even more elementary is when you buy a stock, the stock goes up. If I buy it, Nancy buys it, Ashley buys it, Barry buys it, a community buys it, whatever, the stock goes like this. As people are investing money into it. When again, everyone takes their money out of it, the stock does this. It falls on down, right? Because you bought in on it, you took your money out of it. Shorting is going to be the exact opposite. When I short a play, I am betting that the stock will fall, which makes it fall a little bit. When a lot of people put in a short, it makes the stock fall. But when a lot of people get out of their short, it makes the stock go on up. It makes a stock climb. It makes the stock rise. So if I can look at a play where it has a very large percentage of the stock being shorted, if it starts moving on up whatsoever, people may get scared and start covering their short, which leads towards a squeeze. So I'm going to look at stocks right now that are moving up already that do have a high float short at this moment. So let's say over 5%. And look at this, guys. Now we have 355 stocks. Now remember, if we again had our ball in a jackpot in a lottery, we went from 8,000 other options to now 355. We have a good chance of picking out the winner, or a better chance, I should say. So what else can we look at? 50-day moving average. We could possibly again go on above there if we wanted to. Let's see what else else we have? Sector, PE ratio. Deck, why are you not looking at any sort of PE ratio or any of that stuff? Because remember, as a day trader, I'm just looking to get in on this day, on this week. I don't care what the PE ratio is throughout 2023. Why would that be important to me when I only am trading the stock for the breakout? So that's why a lot of these plays, team, when I jump in on them, I'm jumping in for momentum, not jumping in for the actual company. I'm jumping in for the day. Let's see what else we have here. Let's go to our volatility. So volatility, we want to see volatility is increasing. If I see that volatility is increasing, it means it's getting more attention, which means, again, the stock is most likely moving on up. If it is moving on up, which we have that filter for, and on top of that, the float is being shorted, so it has a better chance of spiking. So let's keep it small, week over 3%. And now, again, we got 318. If we want to, we can always go a little bit bigger. And let's keep going through this. Now, we also want to be jumping over here, team, to relative volume. Relative volume is going to be showing us over the last 3 months if we have 2 times the average volume at this time, 10 times the average volume at this time, whatever it may be. So I like to just say to ourselves, hey, do we have over, 0.75 average volume? Like, I'm seeing volume increase. Because when we actually think about this and we want to illustrate this current filter at this moment, this is the filter that we have. We want to be looking for stocks that at this time are starting to do what? Starting to move on up, that are within our price range, that a lot of people are betting that it's going to be falling. We are seeing that volatility and volume is starting to get some good hype behind it. And of course, it's increasing. So right now, I'm essentially saying to myself, I have a stock that's inside my price range, moving on up, increasing, and starting to get some good hype. The last thing that we could do if we wanted to, actually a couple different things, we could again say, I want my stock to be considered on the oversold side. So oversold, which means it'll be near the bottom of the chart where there'd be a lot of room to run. And last but not least, team, I like to look at the float. And I would like to have a low float stock. Anything under 10 million is a great float, but let's just go under 20 million to begin with. And look at this, team. We have 3 options. If these 3 options are not good, I would suggest just turning off the RSI and getting a little bit more of options. And also a great way to filter these 37 stocks out is to click ownership, click this button right here, and then click float. And if you click float, now you have all of the lowest float stocks, aka the stocks that can go on the biggest spikes, and all of these have the best chance of going on a very nice rip and run. Change from open, we could just go up. It shouldn't really change too much because we already have today going on up, but I just want to make sure we're hitting everything that we really want. And yes, guys, we are all set, ready to go here. So at this time, we are going to look through these 23 stocks here, and we're going to see, are any of these going to have a nice available setup? Now, what I'm going to be looking for on a nice available setup is I'm essentially going to be looking for stocks that essentially look like this. Stocks that were falling, found a bottom, and are now building higher lows. And as they build higher lows, we could possibly see a squeeze come on up. Higher lows lead to breakouts, especially when we have squeezes in between our indicators, such as the 13 EMA 50-day moving average, room to run up to the 200-day moving average. So let's see what we got. And little disclaimer, not every play is going to be a breakout play. Out of this 23, we may find 2 to 3 that are actually worth our time. But remember, we started with 8,000 options. Now we're at 23 options. So that's great. So let's see what we have here. OBLG, let's actually, again, bring over the daily chart over on this side here. OBLG, this is a previous spiker. Let's go ahead and throw on our indicators so we can see what we like. You can see a little of that 13 EMA, 50-day moving average squeeze, room to run up to the 200-day moving average. Remember, that's what I just brought on up, 13 EMA, 50-day moving average squeeze, room to run. This is a previous spiker. I wouldn't say great, but I wouldn't say bad. Let's see what else we have. FUV. Let's see what we got on FUV here. Guys, this would be, again, a nice possible option. Stock has been falling from $127 all the way down towards $3. Notice for the first time in months, it looks like it's finally building higher lows, and we are squeezing between the 13 EMA 50-day moving average. We have a good, again, chunk of people that are shorting the stock, and if any sort of good news came on out, or hey, if we even broke the 50-day moving average, there'd be a great chance that we could rip and rally on a very strong move right here. FUV would be a stock that I would like to write on down. We can go through these a little bit more. KERN. Let's see what's going on with KERN here. This stock has been falling from $25, fading, falling, fading, dropping, and finally found a bottom. And for the first time in months, we are now moving ourselves on up. We had that nice little 13 EMA 50-day moving average squeeze. We're starting to have 3 days of green, room to rally all the way up towards around $5. This stock is, again, a very low float stock at this moment, 4 million in float. FUV was 2 million float. We're seeing a 54% increase on insider ownership, which means people are buying it. KERN, definitely one I would write down. But look how awesome this is, guys. Look how great this is. And I'm going to grab this link and I'm going to throw this for all of our members over in tradecaster.com. So breakout scanners, I'm just going to post this link for you guys so everyone has this. And you guys can bookmark this and save this. So whenever you're saying to yourself, man, I really can't find a play, you can go through and now you're going to have, 20 something options instead of 1,000 options right here. So Deck, you just found again some great breakout plays, any sort of plays that we can look for shorting. Shorting is actually very simple and very easy. So let's see what we can have on possible upcoming shorts here. Some possible upcoming shorts. Let's again explain all of the reasons on why we'd want to go ahead and jump in on one of these plays. Let's go performance. This could go either way here because some people may say, oh, Deck, I want to find a stock that is fading and falling. Some people may say, I want a stock that's completely overbought. Because remember, when we're shorting or looking for a put contract, we are looking for stocks that are extremely overbought. So how about we just start there? How about we go to the RSI and we go to overbought, which would be 60 or higher. Now, again, let's go price and let's go under $50. Because if you're a shorter, you usually want to see a stock get overextended and then fall back on down. So you usually need a little bit more money. So let's go to price under $50. So we have overbought stocks under $50. We have 3,360 options. Let's also say relative volume. And remember, relative volume shows that it's hot. This has been a hotter stock over the past, few days. A lot of times, team, we see stocks that have been hot over the past few days give back a lot of their gains. For instance, let's look at some of the best breakouts from the previous week. MGOL, very big spike, came crashing on down. Take a look over on TCBP. TCBP, very big spike, came crashing on down. Let's take a look over on HKD. HKD, you can see massive spike came crashing all the way back on down over on HKD. We can actually see that right here. Massive spike, massive crash all the way back on down. You can also see if we take a look at some of these other plays, BIOR, another very nice spike, came crashing on down, so on and so forth. So a lot of the plays that you like, you want to see it, can they be overbought? The stocks that are very overbought at this time. So let's bring this back on up and let's check this on out. So we have overbought, and I'm even going to rise this a little bit higher. And the higher you rise it, honestly, the better chance you have of finding a nice short. So let's just go to overbought with an 80. And just like that, guys, we have 113 options. Now, let's see what stocks are also hot that have some decent volume. So let's go over 3 times their average volume over the past, 3 months. So we have overbought over 3 times their average volume, and they're within our price range. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if we already wanted to start looking at some of these plays, let's just see what we have. Look how high these plays are. ARGT, look how high up they are. Look at again, ASX, look how high up they are. All these plays just from this already have options of dumping, like BITF's already starting to turn. BITS, look at BTCM, big time spike, probably gonna start coming on down here pretty soon. So let's see, how can we simplify this a little bit more if we wanted to? We have overbought, relative volume. We can even bump this on up over to 5 if we want to, get an even hotter plays. And let's have performance today going up. And why do we want performance going up? Because I want to see stocks that are very high on up at this time. Stocks that are overbought, stocks that are high. I want stocks that are above that 20-day moving average. Price that is above that 200-day moving average. This is probably either right at the 200-day moving average or slightly underneath it. And let's see gap percentage. Any sort of gap percentage. Gap percentage is helpful. Shows that the stock has gone on a nice big spike, but not necessary. Let's just, again, keep this 21 stocks. Let's go to ownership. Let's filter it out by float right here. And when we do that here, team, we can take a look and we could say to ourselves, okay, what stocks at this point have a low float, considered extremely overbought, have good volume, and could come crashing back on down. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we have here that could be some great options for us coming up in the near future. First things first, let's go NVCN. NVCN. Ladies and gentlemen, stock is extremely overbought. I will say I know the news on this play. It did get acquired at the price of $27.75, but still a great option that has so much room to fall. Take a look over on SOS. Stock's gone from $2 up towards, again, $7.30. We may still have a little bit more room to run. Doji Star right here, if we close that here, indicates that we're starting to fall back on down. Can everyone see that little kind of addition sign right here? That's actually called a Doji candle, a Doji Star. Type this in over on Google and you can see Doji Star. You might say, Deck, whoa, Doji Star. Yep, Doji candles. And if you guys don't know what a Doji is, a Doji indicates that we are about to reverse. When you see a Doji Star at the top, it means you're about to fall on down. When you see a Doji at the bottom, it means, again, you're about to go on up. So when you see a Doji at the bottom, you go on up. When you see a Doji at the top, you start falling on down. It's a very popular candlestick that everyone knows. So the thing is, if I'm looking at this and I see a Doji, hey, tomorrow, possibly a very nice shorting opportunity. Let's take a look over on NEON. NEON, very big spike, overbought. This stock, again, actually beat a case with Google on a lawsuit has a lot of room to be able to fall back on down. BTCM, one of the hottest plays of today. BTCM, this play starting to move itself on up. Again, another great short after maybe it starts running its way on up towards what price? We got up towards the price of $5. Breaks of that comes on up towards around $6. Ultimate price would be $8.22. All amazing options that we can go ahead and look for possible shorts. So let me just grab this list right here and let me again just type this on out as in shorting screener. So we've gone over breakouts, we've gone over shorting. Let's go over again swing trades, stocks that maybe you want to hold for multiple weeks. So let's go to screener at this time. Let's go to all, and remember we got 8,365 stocks. And make sure, of course, if you guys are enjoying this content, if you guys are again enjoying this video, as always, you smash that thumbs on up. Really, again, always appreciate it on out. So thank you so much. Other than that, guys, let's keep this party going because I hope you guys are gaining a lot of information from this and I hope you guys are gaining value from this. So let's again find some more options or find some more trades for us that we can go ahead and do some swing trades. What I want to be looking for is I want to look for stocks that are going to be showing growth. I don't want to try to go for a home run hit. I want to look for stocks that are going to be good, healthy stocks. If you're saying, Deck, I want to hold on to a stock that's going to be a good, healthy play for the next 3 months. I want to hold this play for multiple months. What can I do? Well, we really want to stay as safe and as conservative as possible with stocks that have moved up in the past. Stocks could definitely move up in the future. Now, obviously, we got to do a little bit more information. We got to dive in a little bit deeper. Now, we are coming off 2022. 2022 was one of the roughest years, so our screeners may be a little bit different depending on when you guys are looking at these current stocks. But let's go with EPS growth. First thing that we want to see is we want to see EPS growth has been positive over the last 5 years. Okay? Over the last 5 years, just be positive on EPS growth. We don't have to go anything insane, right? Over 30%, but let's just go again positive. We've had positive growth, all right? And over the next 5 years, they're projected to have positive growth. So these are again companies that have been positive in the past, which again, everyone projects that they're going to be positive in the future. And we can really just go across the board. Sales growth, last 5 years, we're positive. Earnings per share coming on up, we want to believe is positive. Sales over quarter, positive. We want to see everything that is positive. Remember, we're not trying to look for a home run hit here. I'm looking for plays that are consistent winners and have won in the past and are going to win in the future. That's all I want to know. What has won in the past that is going to win in the future? Since I see that everything's on the positive side, I know that these are already going to be good plays. For instance, Apple. Apple's a good play. We all know it. Now, what else can we be looking for here, team? We want to be looking for insider ownership. I want to see that the majority of insiders are holding this play. So for instance, if I'm the CEO of a company and I know that we're a good company, I'm going to be holding a lot of shares. Why? Because those shares are going to make me a lot of money. Because I know our company's great, I know we're going to make more money, and I know more investors are going to buy into our company. So I want to be holding a lot of shares of this company. So I want to have over 10% of insider ownership. Then insider transactions, you could have, on the lower side, but you want to have, let's say, positive insider transactions, as in, hey, a lot of people are going to be buying. But if you guys actually want to take a look just at this list, I'm going to get rid of this in a second, but take a look at this list on what we just have. Remember, good, credible companies. CHTR, look at this nice move over the last few months. COSM, look at this nice uptrend. Remember, EPD, nice uptrend. GWERS, nice uptrend. Everything's uptrending. So that's great. But let's get rid of insider transactions here and let's go to institutional ownership and let's just go with over 10%. We have at this time positive plays in the past, positive plays in the future where insiders are holding their shares because it is confidence. You know what I also like seeing? I like seeing that we're above our indicators. If we could be above our indicators, that would be great. So let's see, can we have our performance today? Wouldn't really matter too much because we're not looking at just today. We're looking at, again, multi-months. So let's see, performance, can we say over the last, remember, you can adjust this. We just came off 2022. Right now it's January after, again, one of the roughest years that we just had since 2008. You can adjust this on, let's say, a year down the line. Okay, what stocks have been positive in 2023? A lot has been negative, of course, in 2022. But I want to go with 20-day moving average. I want to be above that 20-day moving average, price above. And also that 50-day moving average, I want to be above. The 200-day moving average is always a little bit more difficult to get above towards it. So at this time, team, I should have some stocks that every single one that I bring on up, I haven't even checked these on out yet. I got 23 stocks. Every single one should be moving on up. Every single one should be above its moving averages. The 50 and 20 day should be positive in every sense, has insider buying towards it. And even after coming off 2022, one of the worst years, we still want to see positivity. Last thing we could add if we want to, we could say slightly overbought if we want to. Slightly overbought to show that it's moving in the right direction if you wanted to. Drops it on down by about 10. Let's just cut it on off right here, but it does again drop it on down by about 10 at this time. All right, so let's go through some of this list. Let's see what we have here. All right, BRKR. Over the last 4 months, positivity. I like it. CHKP. What do we have here? Last 4 months, positivity. I like it. CHTR right here. Last again 3 months, positivity. Now, as I said, not every play is going to be great, but you can find maybe 1 or 2 out of these that you absolutely love, right? And I want to kind of stretch these out a little bit more. And you can see when I stretch these on out, because these are, again, longer term plays, the longer term growth. CNHI, longer term growth right here. Let's see what else I kind of like at this moment. GWRS, over the last, again, 3 to 4 months, longer term growth, 3 to 4 months. See how everything's uptrending. Like everything that you want to get involved in is going to be more of an uptrend. IPAR right here. Longer term growth, IPAR, showing that it's moving in that direction. And remember, if you want to have that confidence of showing that it's moving in the right direction, don't go overbought 90, go slightly, barely overbought right here, where again, all these stocks now are again showing that they're moving in the right direction. ICD, be careful on this. This would not be a good swing because it's going a little too straight on up, a little too rapid straight on up. It's most likely going to crash back on down in the future. But remember, this is just going to give you an idea of some of the top plays we really like. PAM, notice 3 months, 4 months of just consistent climbing now. So I will again post this over on tradecaster.com for again swing screener. So everyone has the swing screener now. I want you guys to realize that. You guys do not need the most important, most priciest scanners out there. You can get a great list where instead of, again, waking up every single day and just saying, man, there's 8,365 stocks available, you have a breakout scanner now, right? We just went over the breakout scanner. You guys have a shorting scanner now where you guys can have that right here. And last but not least, you guys do have a swing screener right here where guess what? You guys have that right here. Take these settings. These settings are for you. I want to see you guys make money in the stock market. That's what I want. I want every single person to make money in the stock market. I want you guys to be successful. There's no reason for me to hold anything back. There's no reason for me not to tell you a secret. There is literally trillions of dollars in the stock market. There's more enough for everyone. So let's all make that money. Let's all get after it. Let's all attack it. Let's all, again, be able to be as profitable as we can. And of course, let's absolutely crush it. Day in, day out. That's what we do right here over on tradecaster.com, baby. I absolutely love it. And let's keep this party going.